As I believe that I'm going through kind of a turning point in my life, I wanted to record this video to ask myself 10 uncomfortable questions that I genuinely believe I need to answer to get to the next level. And not only am I recording this for me, instead of like writing it down, I'm just talking out loud because I guess I'm lazy to write, but also it's very important to externalize your thoughts. So that's why I record this, or even for you to ask yourself these questions. I don't want to waste too much time and just get straight into it. So the first one is, if you repeated the habits you did yesterday every day for a year, where would you end up? And if I repeated the habits yesterday, I'd be pretty good. If I repeated the habits I did today, I'd be a nobody. And that's the thing. I feel like a lot of our actions and decisions are variable and they're based. And I'm not trying to make an excuse, but habits and actions are different. Let's say, for an example, someone got sick in your family and you had to go spend the whole day in the hospital. Will those actions that you did that day bring you financial freedom? Fuck no, but shit comes up. So I don't really like this question because sometimes, things come up, or, there are days where you work less than others. But at the end of the day, it is the habits. It's understanding that, okay, I had a bad day today, or, stuff came up and I didn't work as much as I usually do. But tomorrow, I'm going to get back to it. And I think that's what's more important, is the consistency, not really, failing one day. Like, you're going to have days where you fail, and it's just important to be consistent and get back there. But to answer that question, if I did the actions that I did today, I would be a nobody. I didn't really do much. It was a Sunday. Woke up pretty late. I did go to church. My grandparents invited me to go eat lunch, so I ate lunch there for hours. Came back, took a nap because I was tired from like a food coma. Pure Italian life, to be honest. So not much work was done today, but I understand that that's not like every day. Like yesterday, I had a very productive day. Very, very productive day. Did a lot. So, but it's a good question to ask yourself, to maybe just realize, like, are your habits, not your actions, but your habits, will your habits bring you where you want to go? If your future self met you today, would they thank you or resent you? I do believe I've always been kind of confident that at the end of my life, somehow, sometime, like in whatever time, I'd figure it out. My stress comes from more like, is it going to come soon, or is it going to come pretty late? Like, I know it's going to come for sure. I've always had this in my head, like, I'm going to achieve it, whether it takes, a month or 10 years. I'm going to achieve it because I do believe you put 10,000, 20,000 hours into something, you're eventually going to be a master at it. So, and when you're a master at it, you'll be good at it. You'll bring more money in. It's just the way I see it. But if he met myself today, I think he would thank me for sure. But I definitely say he would tell me that I'm weak and that I need to be a bit stronger. I need to be more disciplined in some areas. And he would probably say, like, once you start being more disciplined in some areas, your success will come quicker. Like, you're postponing your success. Your success is going to come, don't get me wrong. But if you just focus on being more disciplined in your life, you can become who I am, the future self, quicker. What dream have you given up on that you know? What dream have you given up on that you know you still want? I haven't really given up on a dream, and I'm very proud of myself for that. Maybe to still give an answer to this question, I have given up, not given up, but like put on postpone like relationships. I used to be a man that was so like I remember at a certain age, like relationships with like a girl was like the biggest, like it was the biggest priority in my life. Like I was always looking for girls. I was always trying to date someone. I was always trying to be with a girl. I was like, I don't know, I just always loved that. And then ever since my last relationship, I kind of took like a break. It's been like 2-3 years since I've been with someone. And from going from a man that like had girls on his head 24/7 to like pushing that to the side for like years and trying to focus on myself and my businesses. It's definitely a huge switch. I wouldn't say giving up on it. I obviously I know that's going to come in the future, just not right now. So I guess like I haven't really given up on that dream, but I've like postponed it. And I think it is for the better. Like logically speaking, I think I need to work on myself, to sacrifice, to work hard, to build a life that I want, to be able to afford, to be able to protect and provide for the future wife that I think I'll meet one day. I'm still young anyways, like 21. We're chilling. Are your current goals big enough to keep you up at night? That's the thing. So I'm a big sleeper. I get tired pretty easily, but I think honestly what I've learned is that you can never overcome sleep. If you sacrifice sleep one night, right? Let's say for an example, you pull an all-nighter, that 8 hours of sleep that you were supposed to get, it's gonna come bite you back in the ass later on in the future. Like maybe it might not come all right away, but then the next few days you'll sleep in, and you'll sleep in like 9 hours, 10 hours a day for the next like 8 days, or a week or two, because your body needs that sleep. And I realize that's very important, sleep. I know a lot of people fucking talk about this grinding mindset like this. It's kind of bullshit. It's like, obviously it came from Andrew Tate, and obviously I like Andrew Tate. Like the fundamental things that he talks about is really good, but at the end of the day, you have to understand it's just for kind of like attention, because you cannot, like, this is a human, it's human biology. Like it's necessity. Our bodies are not machine. They need sleep. It's just, you can't override it. It's genuinely impossible. And if you think it is, I thought it was, you're completely wrong. And that's where it's like, get your good night's sleep. But to answer the question, my goals are definitely big enough, and maybe it doesn't keep me up at night because I feel like I do work during the day, and then when I'm in my bed, I just knock the fuck out because I'm so tired. But during the day, it definitely keeps me wired. Like I'm usually stressed along the day, and that stress makes me tired at the end of the night. But there are times where I can't really sleep, and I'm thinking about like, fuck, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, blah blah blah. But yeah, no, I definitely think my goals are big enough. What's the most important thing you've been procrastinating for too long? What have I been procrastinating? I'm a procrastinator, don't get me wrong, but I feel like I'm a procrastinator on like many things, not really like big projects. I don't know. Maybe I can't answer that question. That's really hard. I want to make this video too long, so I might skip this. I think, honestly, what I've been procrastinating is like going through the process of a real legit brand. Like I see myself, and with everybody in dropshipping, like they take the shortcut route, and you reap what you sow, right? So I always had this mindset of like doing a legit brand, like even order inventory, white labeling, getting custom content. Like I always thought that like that was something when I have capital, and I still kind of do believe that. That's why I'm not doing it. But I feel like I am procrastinating it. I could have done it when I first started, or obviously I didn't have any experience, but I could do it. It's not impossible. You know, obviously, like the whole point of drop shipping is to avoid all those risks. But again, the payoffs are way better. So I feel like I could be procrastinating that. What would you focus on if you weren't scared of failing? More product tests. I think honestly, if I was not scared of losing money and scared of failing, and if energy were and time were to be able to do it, I would like test so much more than I am testing now. But a lot of the things is, I'm more precautious now in my ecom journey, where I don't really spam test anymore. I'm so fucking anal with my tests now. That could be a bad thing, because at the end of the day, you don't know until you test. That's like the final decision, right? I don't know until I test. So for me to like look at a product and then to like find all the negatives about it, and then come up to the conclusion like, oh, it has even one negative, it's not a good test. Like I feel like I've probably overlooked a lot of potential winners, and I would focus more on that, to be honest, if I wasn't scared. Are the people closest to you helping you grow or holding you back? This is deep. I have a yes and no answer to this. So I do believe that the friends that I have are helping me grow. Some of them, majority of them. And I think the reason why, I'm not trying to like make myself like sound like I'm doing pretty good with this, but I think the reason why my friend group is helping me grow is because I feel like with friends you can choose. I can choose my friends. If someone is not helping me grow, I can just cut contact with them. That's my decision, and it's okay, With family, on the other hand, unfortunately, I don't see them helping me grow. Maybe they like, don't get me wrong, my family is helping me grow, maybe just in ways that I don't see it, or ways that I probably don't have priorities on. But I definitely feel like some people in family wise are holding me back, and I always wanted to run away from that, and I'm always mixed about it, because family's family. Family is different. Family is blood, and even though that, it's such a touchy topic. Like it depends, because like if you have like a family that beats the fuck out of you, like leave, But I don't know. I always felt like my family is there for a reason. The family I've been given, I'm very grateful for. I love them to bits, right? So I love them with all my heart. And I was given this family for a reason. And whether I see it or not, holding me back or helping me grow, I think I'm strong enough to be able to grow even with them, and to even carry them down the line. And eventually I think I think they were holding me back at the beginning, but the more that I grow and the more I bring them with me, the more they will be useful in the future. I see them helping me grow dramatically in the future. It's kind of like this idea of like the Matrix mind, like the brainwash, like slave mind shit. Like I don't want to sound cheesy and all, but I feel like once I shatter their limiting beliefs, because my family has been covered from society and given limiting beliefs, once I shatter that limiting belief for them, I think they can be a huge asset in helping me grow dramatically in the future. Just at the beginning, I felt like they were holding me back, and still today, not the best, but again, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for the world. What's one decision you've been avoiding because it feels too uncomfortable? I think moving out. Because in the way I've been brought up and the family that I live in, moving out at 21 is not a thing. A lot of people move out once you're like 28 plus. You have like, you're married and you get a house with your partner, put a mortgage down, blah blah blah. To move out at 21 is unheard of in my family, and it's one decision I've been avoiding. And yeah, it feels too uncomfortable because, again, like, I love my family. I don't want to move away from them. And even though, like I said, sometimes I don't see them helping me grow, it's still a family that I love and I've grown up my whole life with. Just to like completely move out, and obviously I would see them, but just way less. Like, I'm always home, right? So I see them all the time. I'm grinding my basement, so I see them all the time. But to go from seeing them all the time to never seeing them, like, it is an uncomfortable situation. But I do think, though, the reward can change my life if I did it. So yeah, I'm testing it out. I'm dipping my toes in the water. That's why, like, I'm traveling for longer periods of times. Like, I did like 2 weeks without them, then a month without them, then maybe one day it'll be 3 months, 6 months, and then eventually, like, get used to it, kind of thing, right? Are you proud of how you spend all of your time? Yes and no. If I'm comparing myself to other people, I'm pretty proud. and it sucks and it's sad, but also because the majority of people in our society is pretty lazy, and I feel like I have success on my mind 24/7, and there are a selected few people, and there's actually these groups of people are growing. There are more and more people that are hustling and being focused and disciplined, but the majority of people are still like pretty laid back and stuff. So comparing it to other people, yes. If I compare it to myself, no. And the reason being is because I always feel like I can do more. And I hate that. I feel like during the day I do a lot, but then at the end of the day, even though I'm dead tired, I always say, like, I could have done more. And that feeling kind of pisses me off sometimes. And I don't know why, but I feel like maybe I could do more, maybe I can. And it's just like this fucking disgusting mindset. Like, it's very rare that I go to bed lately and say, like, okay, I'm satisfied with what I did. Like, it's very rare. But the majority of the days I'm working all day. I'm doing my best. Even though, like, I'm tired, I'm still working. And still I'm like, I could have done more. And I don't know if that's like a healthy mindset, to be honest, but it's a yes and no thing. Like, I know I can improve on it, but I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with so far what I've been doing, but I know I can do more. So, and I can do better. What new mentality would you need to adopt to create a new reality? Honestly, genuinely, like, that there's levels to this shit. Like levels. The way I can explain it is I feel like my mind has been so, like, consumed by the idea of like figuring it out. Like I'm a person that's figuring it. Like I identify myself as a young man hustling to figure it out, making a few $1,000s here, a few $1,000s there, blah, 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 whatever. And you know, the idea of you have to be who you are in your mind first before it comes into reality. I don't treat myself like I'm a multimillionaire. Like all these, you know, I see all these bro, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stuff on, let's say, my Instagram feed, like with cars and houses and luxurious stuff. And I'm not saying like I'm a very materialistic guy, but still, like, these things are worth hundreds of millions. Someone was able to pay that. Someone was able to purchase that. And still, to me, that's like, that's the level that's the level I'm gonna be at. But yet I'm treating myself like, oh my God, I made, you know, a few $1,000s, I made $10,000, $20,000, whatever. And it's like, oh my God, life changing. Like, no, bro, that's still chump change. There's millions and billions out there for you to grab even just the smallest piece. And there's levels. There's genuinely levels. And I do believe that I need to adopt that mentality to change my reality, to really take that next step and saying, Julian, there's kids your age, even younger, dealing with millions. And I'm here having this idea. It's kind of like my mind kind of enjoys it. Like, yeah, I'm the guy that's hustling, to make a small buck. Like, nah, man. Like, I have to get rid of that. Even though, yes, sometimes my environment and my surrounding is not there yet. You know, I'm still living in my parents' basement, right? I'm still living with my parents. I'm still, you know, doing everything of like what a broke person would do. But still, I have to wake up every day and tell myself, like, Julian, you are the man, and you are capable of dealing and generating millions, not thousands, not even hundreds of thousands, millions. Like, I have to like lock that shit in my head. That was it. That was 10 questions. Yeah. I feel like I learned a lot about myself, to be honest. And hopefully, like, you answered the questions with me and we kind of connected with it. Again, I don't want to make this video too long, but I really appreciate you watching. I know these videos are not the type of videos I usually make anymore, but I still think that they are necessary for me and a selected few. I know these videos don't get views and shit, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. I want to make these videos still, and will always make these type of videos because they're more valuable than any other video that I post. So, yeah, again, thank you for watching. Go back and answer those questions if you haven't. I think you'll learn a lot about yourself. Take some time to reflect on that. And, of course, as always, I'll see you at the top.